Alright, guys. Okay, and here Henry again, and today I would like to do this live of my training here. Okay, so because supposedly Sunday I would like to do this video recording and then share to all of you about the option contract, but I failed to do so. So today I would like to try the best live on the training. Okay, so here I will try my best to explain about option contract, and of course this will not have any replay because this is all about life. Okay, so today I would like to share about one topic that is also a big topic. It's very important. It's called option contract. Okay, and why we need to share about this option contract, and you need to learn if you are interested to start with your beginning to gain knowledge and learn how to do option trading, invest in option. Okay, so you need to have this fundamental. Okay, so the fundamental is very important to understand what is the outcome, what is the losses, and how much your gain on your profit. So you can plan out of your 1 years what's the outcome or projection profit that you would like to have. Okay, so let me jump in directly today our live. This is my first live, and if you feel that you want to share with your friends, okay, go ahead and share with your friends, and then I will try my best as explain as possible so that you'll be able to understand. Okay, so let's jump in today topic. What is option contract? So basically, option contract is the contract which is happen when they have two people will be putting option to buy some things like a property, a car, or insurance kind of the big ticket item. Okay, so they will involve of two people here. First is they will involve it's a buyer, of course. If you would have a buyer, then they have this seller over here. Okay, so in our context today here will be this option contract on trading, okay, on stock. So of course in the option contract here you'll be have two parts. One is the call option. Okay, to call means to buy, and then they have this put option which is a put here. Okay, so to expect the stock will going down. Okay, but before we go deep into the call and put, okay, so we need to understand what is the buyer rights and what is the seller rights here. Okay, so let us go through call. So buyer have the right to buy the stock at the certain price. Okay, then seller have the obligation to sell the stock at a certain price. Okay, remember this is the call, and let us go through. This is the puts. For the buyer puts, he have the rights to sell the stock at a certain price. Okay, and seller, of course, they have the obligation to sell the stock at a certain price. Okay, so I think don't worry, this is just to brief you what's the right, what is the obligation for buyer and seller. Let me jump in now with switch to the next camera. I'll show you in my whiteboard so that I'll explain in the scenario or how this thing can be happen. Okay, so move on. Let me switch. Okay, right now. So and let me switch. Hang on. Okay, so I need this page, and I need to switch my camera here. Okay, so now you'll be able to see my whiteboard. Okay, so this is my whiteboard here, and let me explain and do this example now. So if when we doing this option contract, okay, so basically you need to have 4 criteria that to activate or execute this option contract. So first you need to have underlaying. Okay, let me draw here. So number one, of course, you need to have underlaying. Underlaying means it can be stock, it can be community, can be products, can be car, can be other asset. Okay, so second things, of course, you need to have a price. Okay, so the price will be the negotiation or the amount of the product. expiry date, how long, okay, so how long you need to exercise the stock if let's say you are the buyer, okay. Then of course the type of the option, okay. So basically here we have call and puts. So now we use call option, okay, call as example for this scenario now, okay. So now just like I mentioned, we have one buyer, let me write down here, and one they have this seller, okay. So buyer, we often call this is holder, okay, because you're holding the right, okay. And we have this writer. So pardon, sorry if you can't see, let me write here. Okay, so a writer. So writer basically is the writer who write the contract to the buyer. Okay, now so let us make this scenario a case study here. Let's say now I have this iPod. Okay, so sorry, seller. Okay, seller have this iPod. Okay, so and the buyer would like to buy this iPod from the seller. It makes sense, right? So the iPod is underlaying. Okay, so which is the stock or the asset. And then how much Sally need to sell this iPod? Sally would sell this iPod for $1,000. Okay, for this case is 1,000. Okay, so the strike price here, which is also a $1,000 for the strike price. Okay, okay, now for buyer, in order to buy this, he need to pay $1,000 to seller in order to buy the iPod. But because of buyer, he only can have the money maybe probably by the 3 months. So buyer need 3 months to find or to get the $1,000 to pay seller and to buy the iPod. It makes sense, right? Okay, so but because he need 3 months, so the 3 months will be the expiry date is requested by the buyer. Okay, now because buyer need to secure the iPod for 3 months, so buyer will give, okay, or probably in this case we say 10% of the premium, okay, so the whole premium to seller. So seller will pocket, okay, so will pocket in $100 in order to secure this iPod for how long? For 3 months. Okay, what's the writer, what's the seller rights? The seller rights is to write a contract. Okay, so this contract will be putting in, okay, buyer will buy my iPod for $1,000 for the 3 months. Okay, so this is the, okay, so this scenario will be created, which is the option contract will be created, have been created. So remember just now we talked about the call side buyer, he have the right to buy this iPod. Okay, he have the right to buy the iPod at the certain price. So seller have obligation to sell this iPod to buyer. Okay, it makes sense, right? Okay, so this how option contract be happen in our real life. It happen everywhere in the life. Okay, so this is the call scenario. So for the other way around, which is the put, okay, let me try to explain on the put side. Let me clean up the rest here. Okay, so if you have any questions, okay, you can just type in so that I'll be able to reply you once I see your message. Okay, so your comments, everything. Hope that my explain it's good and clear. Okay, so now we going to talk about the second, which is the put option here. Oh, sorry, I got a call. 等一下，等一下。Yo, bro, later I call you back. Sorry. Okay. So sorry, I got a call at urgent. Okay, so now I try to explain in the put side. Okay, so now we are talking about the put. So okay, let's say example now I have this okay, So let's say I have this Telstar, a car, okay, which is I bought this car for maybe example for $3,000 for a car, okay. So of course I have an expensive car. I need to buy a insurance to protect this Telstar car for my usage, right? So what he need to look for, he need to look for insurance agent. Okay, so let me write here. So he look for insurance agent to protect this my Telstar. So okay, so now the insurance agent say, okay, let me get you insured. If anything happen with your car, I would pay you a repair or pay you the full amount of the car, right? So insurance agent will ask a premium, okay. So insurance agent, okay, who ask, let's say I'll protect your car for $500 for how long? For 1 year. Okay, so in this case the underlying product here will be Telstar, the car. Okay, so this is the object, this is the stock, this is the asset, and the price, strike price, we are talking about 500. So the 500 will be, these two will be agreed. Sell by Tesla owner must pay sell agent for 500 in order to protect, to cover this car for $3,000 or any repair of cost. Okay, so for how long? So in the underlying timing here, sorry, the expiry date will be a 1 year. Okay, so this is the put option. So the buyer, sorry, here the owner of the car will pay, okay, so will pay here $500, sorry, for $500 to protect 1 year of agree to protect owner's car. So this will be more happy because he got the $500. But if anything, any point of time, anything happen for the 1 year, so option, okay, so insurance agents need to cover back the cost of the car, right? Okay, so this is the sell or put option on the contract. Okay, so because now I pay you for 500, then he also, insurance agent will give a contract. Okay, so now, so the buyer or the put side, buyer have the right to sell the stock, underlying stock, to the put. So the put seller will be have this obligation to buy the stock back. So if let's say he got if the car is accident, so he have this obligation to buy the car back. Okay, so hopefully this is briefly to share about the option contract. Okay, so let me switch back to my the slides here. Okay, so hope that will be understand for the option contract. So for the next week, okay, so next week, probably by this week, I will share the more scenario, because in option you'll be able to how you learn how to earn the profit, because sorry, need to change. Okay, so this is the switching part, quite confusing for me. Okay, so next week this week, sorry, I will try to make more scenario or case study, so you'll be able to understand what's the rights of the seller and the buyer. Okay, so thank you for watching for my live. If you have any comment, please comment below, and if you have things you want to learn, okay, so please type in, share in the comment below. I will try my best to find those topics and then share to this group. Okay, so again, thank you. My name is Henry. If you have friends who have families who would like to learn again about option, okay, please come, bring your friend, invite your friends to my groups. Okay, so and good night and see you next time.